As you know, I love bringing in guests and discussing about whatever with them here on Tatiana Time. Today I brought in a very special guest who I'll be interviewing and discussing about ... because you'll be finding out later on here on this very episode. Enjoy! Hey guys, it's your host here, Tatiana Diome, and welcome to the series called Upcoming Artist. Before we start this interview, please and chill, relax, sit back, and listen to a couple of songs from the artist that I interviewed for this very episode. Enjoy!
I'm so sick, but period. Niggas always hit me like Nazar, where the music at? Nigga, don't you know that I've been feeling low, feeling bad? Don't you know that I've been all up in my fucking bag? I can't eat or sleep no more cause I am anxious, worried, sad. Niggas always hit me like Nazar, where the music at? Nigga, don't you know that I've been feeling low, feeling bad? Don't you know that I've been all up in my fucking bag? I can't eat or sleep no more cause I am anxious, worried, sad. I'm having some bad days, I'm stuck in my bad ways. I've been making bad plays, stuck living in nowadays. I done felt too much pain, meds are changing my brain, but I swear it's a phase. Every day is a haze, the Amazon's still ablaze. They put more cops in subways, but y'all just wanna throw shade. Y'all don't care to make change, got me feeling outraged. And I'm trying to find a silver lining, but it's just not there. And I'm trying to find a silver lining, but it's just not there. Niggas always hit me like Nazar, where the music at? Nigga, don't you know that I've been feeling low, feeling bad? Don't you know that I've been all up in my fucking bag? I can't eat or sleep no more cause I am anxious, worried, sad. Niggas always hit me like Nazar, where the music at? Nigga, don't you know that I've been feeling low, feeling bad? Don't you know that I've been all up in my fucking bag? I can't eat or sleep no more cause I am anxious, worried, sad. I envy God, I envy truth. Every summer when I see us dying on the news, they still lynching my people, they just not using the news. So when I make it big, I know I won't forget my roots. My fears are flirting with me and I'm easy to seduce. El Shaitan fighting with me, but I'm begging for a truce. I'm not trying to use my anxiety as an excuse, but how can I record when I'm reliving the abuse? Lord, niggas always hit me like Nazar, where the music at? Nigga, don't you know that I've been feeling low, feeling bad? Don't you know that I've been all up in my fucking bag? I can't eat or sleep no more cause I am anxious, worried, sad. Niggas always hit me like Nazar, where the music at? Don't you know that I've been feeling bad? Don't you know that I've been in my bag? Don't you, I've been feeling sad. I'm trying to find a silver lining, but it's just not there. I'm trying to find a silver lining, but it's just not there. No. So don't ask me where the music's at, cause I'm not gonna hit you back. I always stay 10 toes down, feet planted on the ground. Even if you're not around, I'ma always hold me down. Think I miss you, you a clown. I ain't Kanye, I ain't bound. Come river and drown. See me and freak out on the phone, yelling loud, finna have a meltdown. Nigga, can you calm down? Don't know how to act when the real bitch is around. Don't forget your place, you was just a rebound. Niggas love my son, I manifest and roll aloud. You poppin' pills up all aloud just to make it through your downs. I'ma be world renowned for success, I'm bound. I'm the queen like Basquiat with my crown. I got soul like I'm from Motown. Dog ass niggas, put them in the pound. Everybody know I do not play around. Yeah, name somebody better than me. Melting point of ice, cause I'm always spitting some heat. Y'all spitting white lies, but my eyes see the deceit. Drifted gold eyes, who dressed better than me, huh? And who else gonna get it but me? HBIC, gotta make sure I'll CE. Whole team winning, we don't know defeat. I be in my hood chillin' on 163, yeah. First verse go crazy, cause you know I gotta set the tone. When you see me, better respect, cause I'm not you hoes. If you got a problem with me, please let it be known. Had to block my old flame, cause he could not let me go. Bet you now that nigga know that shit is funny, toe. I'm on Dykeman, coolin', sippin' on some coquito. Won't stop working till my bank account is one free code. He wanna wife me up because I'm his favorito. I say okay, I like his style and he bonito. These song title cause my bars are always so fuego. Oh, 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 oh. Keep up, bitch. Name somebody better than me. Melting point of ice, cause I'm always spitting some heat. Y'all spitting white lies, but my eyes see the deceit. Drip to go eyes, who dressed better than me, huh? And who else gonna get it but me? HBIC, gotta make sure while CE. Whole team winning, we don't know defeat. I be in my hood chillin' on 163, yeah. Name somebody better than me. Melting point of ice, cause I'm always spitting some heat. Y'all spitting white lies, but my eyes see the deceit. Drip to go eyes, who dressed better than me, huh? And who else gonna get it but me? HBIC, gotta make sure while CE. Whole team winning, we don't know defeat. I be in my hood chillin' on 163, yeah.
Ice, I'm heat, you cannot have me beat. You cool, I'm hot, I'm everything you not. Melting point of ice, Nazar, the melting point of ice. Melting point of ice, Nazar, the melting point of ice. Melting point of ice. Nazar, the melting point of ice.
Hey guys, it's your host here, Tatiana Diomi, and welcome back to this upcoming series, Upcoming Artists. And today I'm here with
Nazar.
Yes. I was gonna do this out of this. I was also gonna ask you, I was gonna be like, Nazar, where the music at?
I get that all the time.
Oh my god. No, but like again, that's like literally one of my favorite songs. So props to you for real.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so crazy. Like, I hear that a lot, especially like recently. People tell me how much they love Nazar Where the Music At, and it's the first song I ever dropped. So to know that it's like still resonating with people, like almost 2 years later at this point,
Wow.
that's really cool.
Yeah, wow. So we'll definitely get into like the song, like when you released it and everything, what was the process later on in the interview. But I did wanted to ask like, what was your start in music? How'd that begin for you? Like what is your music background? Like any influences of yours and explain your artistry.
Yeah, so I think I've always loved music. Some of my first memories are of wanting to like be a musician, specifically be a recording artist. My parents were always playing music in the house, and they were always playing different kinds of music. Like my mom listened to like a lot of like Lauryn Hill, Keisha Cole, Whitney Houston. My dad was big into like Donna Summer, the Bee Gees, Bob Marley, Kulthum. My mom and my grandmother would listen to like kompa and like Haitian music and other Caribbean music. So I was listening to music all the time growing up. I had brothers, or I have brothers. And when we all lived together, they were always playing music too. My brother Alex was always playing rap, always, whether it was like J. Cole or Tech Nine or Drake or like whatever it was. And my other brother Aaron was always listening to pop music or like some sort of like ballad. And I was just always surrounded by it, and I think I just looked up to all of the people around me who were constantly playing music, and in turn, I started to look up to music as well. And from there, I just kept bothering my mom about like getting training and like taking it seriously. So when I was a kid, she put me in vocal lessons, and that's when like my music training really started. And from there, I was just like performing, and when I got to middle school, I started like writing my own stuff and like secretly like writing raps and not telling anybody. And as I got into high school and started thinking about like what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, I feel like songwriting and continuing to like take music seriously just became my MO.
That's actually wow. You have pretty good taste. You have pretty good taste. I think that
Thanks.
yes, you have pretty good taste. And I also wanted to go into like asking, do you also incorporate any like kompa sounds into your music or any of like if you want to also explain your heritage as well if you're comfortable with doing that too.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, my mom is Haitian American. Her mother was born and raised in Haiti, and her father came up from North Carolina during the Great Migration. So I feel like my mom introduced me to like an array of different kinds of music based on her background. So like sometimes it was Caribbean music, sometimes we were like going to her friend's house and they were playing dance hall, they were playing soca, and she would
Mhm.
play like R&B like I was saying, and like old school jams and soul and things like that. And my father is from Tunis. He's from the capital of Tunisia, which is a country in North Africa. So he listens to like all different kinds of music, definitely a lot of American music, but throughout my childhood, he was playing Arab and African music as well. So I think, in terms of incorporating those sounds into my music, it's something that I think a lot about now. And I'm sure that there's ways that, like, I've done it without being super conscious of the fact that I'm doing it or super intentional. I think overall, like, growing up on very rhythmic music and also having a father who was a drummer in Tunis and who just like would be around the house or in the car like drumming and listening to music that was like primarily drums influenced the fact that I'm a rapper and that I communicate verbally through like a very rhythmic medium. But moving forward with my newer music, probably stuff that I haven't even fully written yet. I want to be more intentional, about incorporating that and like highlighting that visually, audibly, lyrically. So yeah.
Mm. And I did want to ask, when it comes to your sound, and you can also describe how it is now, how you're working on it, and also how it was before. Like when it comes to your sound, like how would you define it? Like, and like also like, in what genre would you define your music? Is it like experimental? Is it genre blending of like hip hop, R&B?
You know, I've been thinking about that like a lot recently because I feel like as I release more music and I have to like do the independent artist thing of like thinking about marketing myself and all the things that like aren't as fun as it's just like writing and things like that. I kind of have to like put myself in a category sonically, and I've been like struggling to find a really niche that encapsulates everything that I do, because I also think I'm in a phase where I'm still experimenting with my sound. Like the next few singles that I have are going to be totally different than what people heard on Nazarchives or from my singles before that. Um so yeah, it's hard for me to put myself in one box, but I would say I definitely make rap music, I make hip hop, I make neo soul, and I make R&B. Finding more specific words from that is hard. Sometimes I feel like it's almost like lo-fi hip hop, but sometimes I feel like it's almost like abstract hip hop. But then I feel like the way that I deliver my lines is like very very like hardcore hip hop, like 90s Lil Kim, like I don't know. It's all over the place.
I definitely get the Little Kim vibe, especially with Nazar where the music at. I definitely get that.
Really? With
Yeah,
that
no.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna always take a Lil Kim vibe.
No, like it gives that vibe not only like Little Kim, but also like Foxy Brown too, if that makes sense. Like
Ooh,
I really see
okay.
that. Yeah.
Love that. I love Foxy, so I love Kim too.
Yes. Oh, are there also your influences too, like when it comes to Little Kim and Foxy Brown?
Yeah, 100%. Even like I'm studying music right now in school, and like for one of my final papers, I wrote about hardcore and how Lil Kim just like totally transformed the rap game, specifically for female rappers, but just for artists, period, for the whole industry, even for people who are on the non-artistic side of the industry. With that
Hmm.
album, I think they're so inspirational. I love women, and I love women from New York. So of course, I love Foxy and I love Lil Kim.
Yes, gotta represent New York.
Ew.
Yeah. And speaking of studying, do you also want to go into like, I guess, if you like, have you taken any like music classes? Like, what type of music classes have you taken? Like, how does that help? Like, I guess with your music journey also, like, have you been expanding your skills with those classes? Like, what you've been learning about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, education is really, really, really important to me. And even though I make rap music, I'm not for that narrative of like making music is an alternative to being educated. I think both can coexist. And so I've definitely been trying to find the intersection between education and music, I feel like my whole life. So, like I said earlier, I was put into lessons when I was younger, and I was really, really blessed to have the privilege of taking music lessons from a young age. And then I went to a performing arts high school here in New York. I went to the Professional Performing Arts School. Shout out PPAS. And I also took music classes my first 2 years there. And then I got into the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, which is at Tisch at NYU. And that's where I study now. So as a college student, everything that I do revolves around music in one way or another. And the thing that I really like about Clive is that the program is holistic, so we're required to learn the basics of like every aspect of the industry. So I take recording classes, I take marketing classes, I take songwriting classes, I take vocal classes, I take performance classes. Like I'm learning so much. And I think it's made me a much more well-rounded artist, a much more well-rounded person. I think it's only helped me, honestly, like pursuing a music education, and specifically one that's like built to teach me as much as I can learn within 4 years. Um, so yeah.
And
Sometimes I don't know how to end what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
no, you're good. You're good. No, these are your answers. So spit whatever you're saying, like just talk about it, you know. And I did also wanted to ask, like, do you maybe want to give an example of how did you apply I guess those skills what you learned from those classes like onto like your projects?
Sure. So like with, for example, like Nazarchives, I wrote those songs in high school, but by the time I went to go record and mix and master them, I had all of this like new knowledge about music that I didn't have before, specifically like recording techniques, mixing technique, mastering techniques. I didn't know anything about vocal effects or plugins or anything like that prior to college. Like I didn't really know like what reverb was and how to use it. I knew how it sounded and I knew that I liked how it sounded, but I didn't fully like understand like how to use reverb with delay and like how to use it with like compression and like just all of these different factors that go into like perfecting a song. I was so focused on like the performance and the songwriting aspects prior to coming to NYU. So like with Nazarchives versus with Nazar where the music at, I made a lot more choices in terms of like the delay, like beat drops, just the production overall, because for the first time I was actually thinking critically about those things. And I hear it like, I don't think other people would hear it, but when I listen to Nazar with the music at, there's moments where I'm like, oh, I definitely would have like done X, Y, and Z instead of doing it like that. And I made those like conscious choices on Nazarchives. So that's an example of kind of like applying skills that I learned throughout college to the songs that I'm releasing now.
Mm. And is there anything like I guess maybe besides that song, is there any other song of yours that you would maybe like tweak a little bit if you had the chance to like go back to it?
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, honestly, yes and no. No one's ever asked me that before. That's such a cool question. Yes and no, because I think the imperfections of every song kind of act as like a timestamp and like a time capsule, and they let me see like how far I've come. It lets like listeners see how
Mhm.
far I've come, how I've changed, how I've evolved, how my access to recording resources and to people who can help me mix and master and to people who can help me market, how all of that has evolved as well. So like I'm really grateful for the journey that I've had, and I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not proud, lol. I'm not proud of anything that I've done. So I wouldn't say that I would necessarily change things, but of course like I could listen with a more critical ear now and be like, okay, like there are certain things with like Let Me Down, for example, which is like the first R&B song that I dropped, where I'm like, ooh, like if I could just tweak this, that would make it perfect. But yeah, it's still about the journey for me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So it's more so like the sound you like I guess produce and everything's already put out there, so like you can't really change it. But in a way, like I guess you're saying like, maybe I can do this next time to, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, and I think that's how I feel. So,
And speaking of like production, do you maybe also want to go into like, I guess, like visuals? Like, how do you usually add visuals when it comes to your songs?
um, in terms of visuals, that's something that I'm trying to like get better at incorporating with my work, and I think with the next few singles that I'm dropping, like people are gonna see that, and they're gonna see that I've been putting in work into like getting more visuals, being more intentional about what visuals I'm, like putting alongside my music. But overall, I think more than anything, I'm inspired by the people around me. I come from like a very like visually overstimulating place. There's just so much to see and to experience in New York. So I definitely get a lot of influence from just like what I see walking around. Sometimes I'm just taking pictures of random things and I'm like, okay, there's like a way that we can kind of make this more sophisticated to use it as something in my own work. But I'm also really inspired by the people around me. I have a lot of friends who work in the visual arts. I feel like now I'm starting to make more friends who work in music. But in high school, a lot of my friends were just visual artists, specifically photographers and videographers. So when I see their work, I'm like, okay, I want to make something like this. I love what you did with that. I love how you're using these color palettes, these locations, how you're like editing it in this way and how people are responding to it. I feel like people around me really inspire me. I have amazing photographer friends like Renee Hayes, Stephanie Rodriguez, Salma Ben Salim. Like, so many of my friends are just so gifted visually, and that's become a really big source of inspiration for my visuals with my music.
And when it comes to inspiration, is that also like you add that when it comes to like, I guess, the process behind your music, or like, like what is it like creating music for you? Like what type of mindset are you usually in?
I feel like I can be in so many different mindsets. Um, Yeah, I don't think there's ever really one specific mindset. I think a lot of my songs have come about in different ways. Sometimes when I'm at shows, if I'm at a really, really, really good live music show, I'm probably writing my own lyrics in my head. And like, if you see me
Mm,
on my phone typing, I'm like writing a new song. Live shows really, really, really inspire me. Like, when you see somebody on stage really doing their thing, or a band on stage really doing their thing, it makes just like me want to do my thing. So sometimes I'm at a show and I start writing, and some of my songs have come about like that. Other times I'm just down bad, honestly, and I'm like, damn, I'm sad. I should write about it. Other times I'm really happy and I'm like, oh my God, I should write about this. Sometimes I'm just hanging out with a friend and they show me something they're working on and I'm like, can I hop on this too? Like, there's not really one specific mindset. I think the difference between like being an independent artist who's pushing their own stuff and being a songwriter is like the okay, now I gotta grind this out and get this out mindset. And I think that's a mindset that I can get into very specifically, that I can like define and that I can really feel and know like, all right, this song needs to become public. But just to write in general or to create in general, I feel like there's so many different headspaces I'm in when I do that.
mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask you three questions actually about your response. Um, is there like, I guess, any performances that you've seen recently or in the past that like mm, made you like, I guess, want to write down the lyrics? And is there any performances of yours that you also want to bring up, or are you planning on doing any live performances in the future? And then also, I forgot the third question. I'm sorry, but I guess you can answer those two questions I asked you.
Yeah, of course. If the third one comes up, just let me know. But um the first question was live performances I've been at recently. I think one and two actually kind of tie into each other because there was one performance I went to recently, Young World. That was super inspiring. I went the day before I had my own show, and seeing Earl Sweatshirt specifically really had me like being like, nah, I gotta go home and right now. And
Oh, you're
then the next day,
lucky.
huh?
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you're lucky. Earl Sweatshirt?
Yeah, it was Earl Sweatshirt.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's not even the first time I've seen him for free too. Like I've been blessed to see Earl in this life for free multiple times. But
Wow.
um, the next day, I did a show called Find Space. I was one of the openers for Life of Tom and Stoic, which was such a cool experience. But that show overall was mad inspiring. I was so inspired being in that space. It was at Loudmouth Record Store in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Hmm.
Super, super cool venue, super cool people there, super cool artists. And after I performed, an artist named Samira Truth performed, and coming off the high of my set and then seeing their set, oh my god, I was in the audience writing, and I was trying not to be on my phone because I wanted to give them my full attention, but their music was so good that I was getting all these ideas. I was like, nah, I can't let this go. I gotta write this down. But Samira Truth is literally the truth. They are so good, and their set had me so inspired. That was the set recently where I was like, nah, I have to write literally right now. And in terms of shows coming up, I'm trying to figure some stuff out. Nothing like super serious right now because I am planning to go study abroad. So in like a month, I won't be here for the rest of the year, and that's definitely impacting my show schedule. But I'm doing like a little something on the 27th, this upcoming Saturday. There's the Youth Power Fest. It's like an annual community event in New York. Some of my friends from high school go and perform and participate and host workshops there. And I've performed there before, so I figured I might as well do it again this year. I'm really for like community events and I love to perform at them. I think that's just like so much fun.
Hmm.
But yeah.
And oh, also speaking of community, is there anything that you've done, to give back to your community besides music?
Yeah, I think for sure. I try to give back to my community whenever I can. I feel like everyone should. So it feels weird to kind of like list off things that I've done, but mutual aid is a really big thing for me, and New Yorkers taking care of New Yorkers is a really big thing for me, and people in their own local communities taking care of each other in general is a big thing for me. So I try to participate in mutual aid events as much as I can. I've also thrown a few. I'm the founder and creative director of an organization called the Young Lords Collective, and we've done our own mutual aid stuff. Um, I also am like working on trying to get another mutual aid event this year that like I'm gonna throw personally up and going before I study abroad.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, mutual aid is a big thing for me. That's just like knowing that if you have something and someone in your community needs it and you have surplus, sharing with them. Trying to facilitate opportunities for people to do that, whether it's with like clothes or food or medical supplies or money, like whatever it may be. Um, I think that's a major way that I've been able to give back to my community, thankfully.
Mhm. And what's that word? Multifaceted? I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
That's you. Really you.
Thank you.
Like, I know, like, you do music on the side, but also in the same breath, also try to give back. Like, also, I don't know if this makes sense, but in a way, like, what you're doing, like, your music not only, I guess, like, helps music. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, have the words
No,
for,
you're
like, trying to
fine.
form a sentence. Like, both of what you do, like, I guess, helps people physically and emotionally. So, like your music in a way again is like very relatable, especially with the lyrics that you spit. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I try to be vulnerable in my music. I think out of all the different things that I do, it's probably where I'm most vulnerable. Um,
Mhm.
so that means a lot to know that it's being received and recognized.
Yes. No, and like I can't wait to like see what you put out like, in the near future, especially coming up very soon. Do you want to also
Hmm.
speak about any like I guess give a hint on your like newest projects that are coming out soon? You don't want to give out too many
Yes.
details.
Yes. Okay. So I've been in my bag. I've been grinding.
Yes.
I'm in my singles era. I have a collab coming out with my really good friend Safa. I'm really excited, really, really excited to drop that. I can't say too much on it because Safa, she likes to keep it under wraps until we officially announce, and I respect that 100%. But the announcement should be coming so soon, like sooner than soon, like maybe even before this podcast comes out, type soon.
Mm.
So I'm super excited for that song to drop. It's my first collab with anybody. Um, it's a different vibe. It's kind of like Melting Point of Ice, but a step up. So I'm excited for people to hear that. And then I have another R&B song, finally pulling through with an R&B song again, coming out. It's called Claim Me. It's really good. If you ask me, I'm so excited about it. I'm really excited about the visuals and the cover and all the stuff that I have coming with that. I'm trying to be on like a different vibe. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just super excited about those things, and like I can't wait for the world to hear it and like see how people feel about those songs and like this new energy that I'm coming with.
Yes, I was just about to ask you, like, that was literally the next question. Like, if you're planning on doing like any collaborations, like in the future, if you've done collaborations and you have your first collaboration actually coming out soon. So, congratulations.
Thank you. I mean,
Yes.
going to music school, one thing that I really appreciate about Clive is that they support us being in a, what's the word? In a collaborative environment rather than a competitive environment. So I've
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of opportunities to work with people who are so good, so good. And I hope that once I come back from studying abroad, or even while I'm abroad, I'll be able to like keep building out those songs and getting them to a point where they can be released. I'm sure more of those collaborations are coming out. I honestly like can't even give specific details, not because I don't want to, but also because some of them are for like other people's projects, and
Mm-hmm.
they've told me that they want to drop the projects this year, but like I haven't been like super on them about it. Like that's their work. So I hope somebody that I have a collab with on a project is gonna drop their project this year, and then I can have another collab coming out. But I really want to prioritize doing that. There's so many cool people I've worked with, and I've been trying to work with more producers and just build more relationships overall.
Mm-hmm. Because what's that saying goes, I guess it has to do something with networking, but I know networking is very important.
Yeah, it is. It's not like what you do, it's who you know, or like something, or it's not what you know, it's who you know, something like that.
Mm. And this might be a random question, but this was actually the third question I was thinking about when it came to, I think, asking about your performances and everything. But how do you feel about, I guess, like independent artists, like being an independent artist, like I guess in this time and era and everything?
Um, that's such a broad question, and I feel like, especially being like a recorded music student, like I could probably go on a really long tangent about it. But at the same time, too, I'm not one of those rappers who feels like super, 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 super strongly about being an independent artist. It's what I am right now, but if a label could like help me achieve what I'm trying to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
at another point in time, that's definitely not something that I'm closed off to. I'm not married to the idea of being independent for the rest of my career. But for right now, it's what's working for me. And I feel like while I'm still in school and while I'm still trying to grow as an individual, growing my career organically is the best thing I can do. And especially as of recent, I've seen like the benefits of being independent and having full creative control and understanding everything about what I do individually, rather than having people like explain it to me or breaking it down for me. Um, I've learned so much about the industry just through like being my own manager, agent, publisher, like you know what I mean? Um so being an independent artist, it comes with its ups and downs. I don't think the current state of the industry is really meant to support independent artists, but there's so many people who aren't letting that stop them, and right now that's what I'm trying to be like as well.
Yeah, and I think like just also hearing from your perspective and then hearing also from online's perspective and then also hearing from like a lot of like artists like who've been signed before as well and talk about like how I guess like their label, like F's them over and stuff, like with royalties and everything. And like it's a pretty tricky business, like when it comes to the music industry.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I also wanted to ask, like, and you can bring up any song of your choice, but do you maybe want to go behind the process of oh wait, do you maybe want to go behind the process of like Nazar where the music got like the meaning behind the title, production and everything?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is the story of Nazar where the music at. I was finishing up my senior year of college. I'm pretty sure I wrote it at the last week of school type. It was the very end. Oh, did I just say college? I meant high school. I was finishing up my last week of high school as a senior. Um and I had been making plans throughout the majority of high school to release music, and I feel like all of it just kind of fell through. I didn't have the resources. I didn't know what I was doing. I was focused on so many things and I wasn't taking the process step by step. And then also COVID like made it nearly impossible to do things, and I was only a sophomore in high school when the pandemic started. So I was going through all these things, and also like I had just gotten diagnosed with anxiety and literally just going through the motions. Like all of my friends were about to move away for college and I'm staying in New York, and I'm going to be surrounded by strangers and just all the motions. I feel like anyone who has gotten past the age of 18 knows how emotional that year can be. Um and that song just kind of became my outlet. I just sat down, I found a beat on YouTube. I really, really, really liked the beat. Um and it literally just came out. There's like not even much of a story. I'm pretty sure I was homesick with COVID actually. And I like recorded a voice memo. At that time I didn't have like a lot of like recording accessibility the way that I have now. So I would just recorded me rapping over the voice memo in case like I could like show it to a friend who would tell me if they liked it or something like that. And I put the like I'm so sick but period at the beginning because I wanted them to know like if I sounded bad it was because I literally had COVID and was just like recording this in my room. And then I like sent it around to a couple friends and people were really really liking it, and one of my friends was throwing a concert in Dykeman Fields, all the way up in Washington Heights, like all the way up at the top of the heights. Um, and I was like, bet, I'm gonna perform this there. And I did, and people went crazy. And I was like, hold on, maybe I should drop this song. And then when I started recorded music school, I was like, oh, I should probably drop something right when like I start school, because a lot of like my peers were coming in with music already released. So the last day of September, Nazar Where the Music At came out. And ever since then, whenever anyone meets me, they're like, yo, Nazar, where the music at? Oh, I found the music. Yo, Nazar. So that's the story of my song.
I love that, especially with the intro at the beginning. That's also my favorite part too. And it's just it kind of like in a way like I don't know if it makes sense. Like I guess like you kind of kept it going, especially like in the like condition you were in at the moment, and like you're still like gonna release music. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
And is there also I guess another project or a single or EP of yours you also want to bring up and like explain the process behind?
Um, hmm. I guess I can talk a little bit about this next song that I'm gonna release. Not the collab, but the one that's just mine. So it's my song called "Claim Me." It's an R&B song, and in the fall semester of the school year that just passed, I had to take a songwriting class, and that class was just all over the place. And by the time the final came around, the project was to like release an EP, and we had to get like thrown together in these groups of people who make super different music than you, which was really fun. I love working with people who like just make totally different shit than me. Um but we barely had any time to do it because we had just not done the project for most of the semester. And my friend, who kind of made similar enough music to me compared to other people in the group, just sent me this beat. Her name is. She's so amazing. She's actually such a fucking good producer. She sent me this beat. I was like, this shit is so good. Like, this beat is so fucking good. And I wrote the whole song in like 30 minutes or something like that, like in one session that we had. And then recording it was a process. It took a long time to get a recording that I was happy with. But now I think I'm really happy with everything, and like I'm excited for people to hear it. But it's a different vibe, and it's so much fun, and is so good. And she was just able to pull like something really different out of me. So I'm excited for this one.
And I also wanted to ask you, um, is there like a type of impact do you want to leave when it comes to your music?
Yeah, I mean, I think about legacy a lot. And for me, I just want people to like, I want to show that female rappers of our generation can be successful without all following in each other's footsteps the exact same way.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think every successful female rapper needs to be like BBL and like talking about drugs and sex. And that's like a legacy that I want to leave behind, of showing people like women who make conscious rap and who really, really, really spit above anything else. Like, they just work on their craft, can
Mm-hmm.
also be successful in the hip hop industry. And I also just want to represent for people like me, because I feel like growing up, I didn't see a lot of Tunisian artists. I didn't see a lot of artists like myself. So just continuing like showing people really anyone can do it. Um, and I just want to leave a legacy of like being nice, being like positive, trying to make the world a better place. Like, it sounds corny, but I feel like so many of the celebrities of our generation, not that I'm a celebrity, but just the figureheads of our generation, like, you kind of look at them and you're like, what are people going to remember, like, about this, about us, about our pop culture? Like, I want people to see our generation say something with a message and not have it be corny, and not have it just be a message and be real, and people like it. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. So almost like I thought about Queen Latifah, who also,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love
in
Queen
the
Latifah.
90s, yeah, who made like a lot of conscious rap, and she's still going today, and she also, has a legacy. But it also kind of reminds me, if you were to ask somebody, I guess, like, name five like conscious female rappers, like, that are like today in like our era, like, would somebody be able to, like, I guess, at least name five rappers?
I
I
don't
don't know
think
if that
so.
makes sense.
I don't
Yeah.
think they would. They should start with Nazar, but I don't know if they could get four more.
Yeah, they should start with Nazar. Nazar, most definitely, but I'm not sure about others. Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
that's a very tricky one. Yeah, but no, it's just it made me like think, like, like what you were saying. I feel like later on in the future, you're most definitely gonna leave something behind for a lot
Thank
of
you. I
more
hope
people. Yeah,
so.
and your
Thank-
footsteps. Yeah, and like also in the same time, like, do you feel like there's also a formula going around in like the female rap circle?
Oh, 100%. But like, I also think people like pick on female rappers too much, and I think that's why sometimes I haven't really spoken a lot about how I want to be a different image of a female rapper, because I feel like female rappers in general already get a lot of hate, and I don't like dislike the rappers that do fulfill that typical image that the industry puts out. In fact, I love a lot of them. Like, like, I really like that kind of music, but it's just not what I want to put out, and I don't think like I should be restricted to only putting out music like that, even if it is something that I listen to. And I think that like the industry in general takes every genre and takes like even niche genres, and they put like a certain archetype at the face of it, and if you don't fit that, you're not going to be as successful. And I don't think that's something that's exclusive to female rap, but people definitely notice it a lot
Mhm.
with female rap. Because I just see female rappers getting hate for it, and I'm like, this really isn't their fault. If anything, like, it's slightly on the consumer, because why are we uplifting this if we don't like it?
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion on that. But yeah, like, people really hate on female rappers, like Ice Spice, for example. They'll be like, oh, nobody even listen to Ice Spice unless she's shaking her ass. But then, like, they just watch videos of Ice Spice shaking her ass. Like, so why are you watching it then? Like,
Exactly.
this is why the industry keeps promoting it, because they're making money off of your views. Like, hello. So things like that. Like, I try not to pick at women too much. It's
Mm,
really low key consumers.
And I also want to go into I guess like the stories you want to tell through your music. Like, is there a story you want to tell through your music, or has there been any stories that you told through your music?
I think there's definitely been stories that I've told. Like, again, this sounds a little corny, but like, I just want to tell my story. Like, I don't think there's a specific story. I'm like, from the beginning until the last song I released, I want to tell this story and this story only. I just want to tell the story of myself, whatever that is at the time. And I think with Nazarchives, if you listen really, really closely, you can low key get my whole life story in that song, especially with songs like Self Love Outro. Like, I'm putting so much of myself on those tracks. And it's actually even a version of myself that, now that I'm like a more evolved person and an adult, like, I don't feel that version of myself anymore. Like, I can't exactly put myself in her footsteps, but the story is still there, and I can like understand who that person was through the story of the song, of just like someone who grew up with like a lot of pain in her childhood, but also not a childhood that she's necessarily ungrateful for. And someone who's like willing to do whatever it takes to achieve what she wants to achieve, and
Mhm.
someone who is an observer of the world, who's seen a lot, and who is willing to change the things that she's not comfortable with. That's the story that I think Nazarchives tells.
Mhm. And I like the word that you used, involved, not involved, sorry, evolved. And I also want to go into like, is there like, I guess like an era like that you're going to now, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think like, like, the Nazar that wrote Nazarchives was a very, very hurt teenager, honestly. It was like a very, very sad and anxious teenager, and I'm just not that person anymore. I'm a lot more grounded, and I'm a lot happier, and I'm a lot more positive, and I'm a lot more understanding, and I still have a lot of things about myself that I need to improve and work on. We all do, but I'm just not like that hurt teenager
Mhm.
anymore. And like, I'm not as, I think, I don't want to say tough, because I think I am still kind of tough, but I'm not as tough in the sense of like being cold hearted or like having like a stone heart. Like, I've just
Yeah.
grown and like I've evolved. And I think recently I've wrote a lot less music since growing from that stage in my life, because I only knew how to write from a place of hurt. But
Mhm.
recently, I've been learning how to write from a place of love, and from a place of joy, and from a place of gratitude, and from a place of appreciation. So I think the music that's going to come out after these next couple of singles, and like whatever I have going on for the rest of 2024,
Mhm.
is going to be a reflection of this more healed Nazar, um, but a Nazar that's still like edgy and tough in the good ways, and overly confident, and all the things that like I also was on Nazarchives.
No, that's pretty deep. Wow. And I do also want to say like you're in a better place now than like how teenage Nazar was.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
And that's definitely gonna speak through your new music.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask, have you gotten any like I guess publications about your music, about your events or shows?
Sorry, a train just passed. Did I get any what?
No, you're good.
Sorry. I live right
Well,
next to the train.
No, to ask, have you gotten any, I guess, like publications about your music, events and shows, etc.?
Like yes and no. I just started making an effort or like wanting to be like written about more for my music or having music blogs like recognize me more. It wasn't something that had really crossed my mind until one of my professors mentioned it and I was like, "Ooh, that would eat. Like I want that." So recently like a couple like music blogs on like TikTok and Instagram have like reposted me or included me in videos or in their playlists and like I've gotten on more curated playlists, excuse me, which is so cool. I'm so grateful for that. It's really helped me like grow my streams. Like now I have like 1,000 listeners like consistently for the first time ever. I literally feel famous. I'm like, stop playing with me,
Yes.
y'all. No, but I'm really grateful for like the attention I have gotten. It's been nothing crazy, but it's been cool because honestly, like I really don't do this for attention. Like I make music because sometimes I feel like I have no other choice but to make music. Like I am
Mm.
so drawn to the act of making, recording and releasing music. So, especially with Nazarchives, even in my artist statement about Nazarchives, I made it really clear that it was a throwaway EP. I wasn't even planning on having like a crazy marketing rollout for it. Like I just dropped it just to drop it because I had all these songs I really loved that I felt like people needed to hear in order to understand who I was as an individual and an artist and to know part of my story. But to see the EP get attention when I was really just dropping it like for fun and for the love of like the art and for the love of the craft, that's been really, really cool. So the music blogs, they've been holding it down for me for sure.
And this question, when it comes to, sorry, we usually want to ask this, want to ask artists, this question, like when I interview them, usually stops them in their tracks, but define yourself as an artist in like one word and explain why.
When I saw that question, when you sent me the questions, I was like, "Child, I don't know what I'm gonna say because I'm so all over the place, and I talk a lot. I talk so much. One word, I'm like, oh my god. But um, I think maybe intuitive.
Mm.
I thought that was a good word. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna say intuitive. I think intuitive because I try to be I try to not be like totally out of touch in my music. I feel like a lot of hip hop right now it's like out of touch. Like if you just read the lyrics out loud, it's literally like, what are you saying, bro? And like who are you saying this to? I try not to be like that in my music. Like I try to be like you said, like relatable, real, authentic. So like having the intuition for that, the intuition to know myself and to know others, that's like a big thing in my art. And then also like I try to represent kind of wherever I'm at, oftentimes like physically, like, but also just in general, like where am I in time and space in relation to others, and I try to have my music emulate that. So I would say I'm an intuitive artist.
I like that word. That's a very nice word. You chose a really good word.
Thanks.
Yeah. I like and the way you explain it too. Yeah. And also, do you have any advice for any upcoming, musical artist?
Don't be afraid to be embarrassed.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to be perceived. Just go and do it. If you like put out like a flop or something, like no one's gonna remember. And if they do, they're a weirdo. Like out of everything that happened in their life, they remember like that one time you did something stupid. Like just go and do it. I
Mhm.
like not that I regret because I don't have many regrets, honestly. I feel like everything in my life is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to, but I do wish with certain things about my music, whether it's like the way in which I release my music or when I release my music or what I release, I wish sometimes I just went for it rather than always thinking like, oh, what are people gonna think? What are blah blah blah? Like just go for it.
Actually, your advice also kind of resonates with me a bit because sometimes in my head, like when I'm like in the middle of creating something, or like if I'm inspired by something and like I have a vision in my head, sometimes I'd be thinking like, should I really put this out there because I'm thinking about like how people are gonna think of me and how people are gonna like perceive of me as well, like, so like sometimes I'm always like I should limit myself, like I shouldn't do too much, I shouldn't go overboard or anything, because it's like in a way I don't want to make other people feel small, if that makes sense. Like I guess like Nicki Minaj said, like I guess like sticking to that, like that ladder, and like staying in that one place. But like when you like grow and like continue to go up that ladder, like it hits different. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that also resonates with me.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah. But thank you so much, Nazar.
Ah, of course. Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Of course, and I'm excited to see what you put out. I know you've also done a recent performance. If you also want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so that was a performance that I mentioned a little bit earlier, Find Space. That was a ball. It was like the best show I've had yet. I was super nervous leading up to the show, and I don't really get nervous to perform anymore. I've been doing it for a long time now, and like I wrote Nazarchives, like I said, when I was in high school, so I know those raps like in and out. I don't worry about not knowing the lyrics or not knowing the timing. Like I just know all that stuff. So I don't get nervous, but I was nervous, okay? And like some backstory, I actually haven't really told many people this, but I was supposed to use my band for that show, and we were just having so many technical difficulties trying to figure out how we would make that work, and I was really looking forward to using my band, and I really was kind of relying on that and was very comfortable with that. And then last minute I had to switch to more of like a traditional old school hip hop MC DJ setup, and I had never done that before, and that threw me. But shout out DJ Synchro. That's my homie from school. He blessed and came through and DJ'd for me. And we just ended up having such a good time, and it was like my favorite performance I've ever done. So
Yes, that's so cool. And like you've also tried out something new, like when it came to the set. So that's really cool.
yeah, and I was really messing with it. That might be my new thing now. We'll see.
Ooh, maybe a new niche. Okay.
Ew, you
Yes.
know.
But again, thank you so much. It was really great talking to you and just like learning more about you and like discovering new things as well. So thank you again.
Of course. Thank you.
Yes. Also, good luck with studying abroad too. I know you're gonna
Thank
have
you.
a lot of fun, new experiences as well.
You as well.
Thank you. Ooh. New things are coming your way. New things are coming your way.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Thank
Yes,
you.
of course. But you have a good day. And yeah.
You too. Bye.
Ruthless and unforgiving. My peace of mind is your cost of living. Feel like I lost my vision. Childhood is not so vivid. Like my life ain't start till double digits. Like my innocence was always fictitious. Lullabies of divorce with no volition. This sound like blood in the kitchen. Little eyes witness smitten. Little lies just to fit in. Many loved ones sinning. Lost in Kendrick pool swimming. Trying to drown their contrition. God spared their soul from perdition. I'm proof to go breed ambition. I never asked for permission. I can't be forced to submission. I'm on top superposition. And I stay winning cause I'm gifted, twisted and driven. Yo,
I'm not enough is what I've been believing. But all that self-hate I'm releasing. Cause I found the pain before the joy of feeling love.
hey yo, I'm tryna be better, but I swear these niggas testing me. They can't be no better, so they gotta be obsessed with me. Look, I think my past self got the best of me. Maybe all that shit last year was her stealing the rest of me. YLC, finna be an LLC. I love my family, I live my life gratefully. Ancestors impressed with me, so they keep on blessing me. Ain't no nigga stressing me, ain't no bitch checking me. Nazar the HB I see.
I am enough is what I've been believing. Cause all that self-hate I'm releasing. Cause I found the pain I said, we'll be the beholders. We'll be the beholders.
R&B, bitch, but I rap, cause I got it like that. I bring the boom to the bat. All you hoes do is chat, but I ain't bout the yak. Live in the heights where niggas get hit with the gat, and that's that. My friend's brother died over a pack. Imagine hearing that your brother died over a stack. Shit whack, I'm just happy that God got my back. My life is intact, and it is a fact that my impact is a match. And wherever I talk, I'm backing, and y'all just be acting and cracking under the pressure. They mad cause they couldn't get her. I'm still hot in cold weather. I'm a go-getter. My flow's better. I chase cheddar and you a beggar. No salt, no pepper. I eat you up. I'm a big stepper. Yeah, I'm applying pressure. So give up whenever. They gon' be whack forever, forever. Nazar.
Tell me what you want from me, baby. Yeah.
I said lately I've been feeling like my soul is leaking out to me. Except for when my baba say he proud of me. But still I can't forget the times he doubted me. When I think I can't go on, I think of all my father been through. And I say how did he? Then I get on my feet. I got business to meet. Walk in my presence, turn call niggas to catastrophes. Make niggas stutter like they speaking with apostrophes. If rap is ball, I'm breaking ankles and I'm popping knees. If rapping's trapping, then all you niggas my dope fiends. If rapping was philosophy, I would be Socrates. Got powers like Josiah, yeah, shout out my nigga Steve. Ho talking shit and everybody know her nigga cheats. I got a lot of things that I've been keeping to myself. When I write these raps, I take my ego off the shelf. Jealousy a disease, so some bitches who need some help. How you grown and you got nothing to show for yourself? I don't lack empathy. The other night I prayed to God that she would see clearly. At shows for fake friends every night, heard her shit be empty. The ones you riding for really be your true enemy. Can't see through your feelings, can't see through your feelings, can't see through your feelings. But the devil cannot interfere with my healing. I said the devil cannot interfere with my healing. That's why I'm Big Nazar.
With a little help.